All right, happy Sabbath, family. Happy Sabbath, family. Once again, I'm Brother Al. For those who don't know, this is my reader, Brother Kevin. We're coming to you on behalf of the Vineyard of Israel in the name of the Most High God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, we want to thank him for giving us an opportunity to serve him in spirit and in truth. Thank him for his message on this true Sabbath day, the seventh day of the week, the day of rest. All right, praise the Lord. I want to thank him also for saving us from great deception. All right, the whole world is deceived. That's Bible. The Bible even tells you that. All right, so with that being said, we got a message today from the Lord. The title of the message is Upholding the Sabbath. Upholding the Sabbath. Because no matter what anyone says, the Sabbath day is still good. And I'm going to show you that. That's what the lesson is dealing with. How long is the Sabbath good for? And proper Sabbath day behaviors. Right? Because you know, the Lord, he did this thing where people just can't come and say the Sabbath is any day. Right? Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to show you what day it is, how long it's good for, and can every day be the Sabbath? No, it can't. Because the Lord has certain stipulations on the Sabbath that separates the Sabbath day from every other day. So I want to especially thank him for the Sabbath, because the Sabbath day is what started my journey. Right? The Sabbath day changed my entire life. So I know it's real, and I know it's something that's real, real spiritual, along with the rest of the law. Right, so let's say a quick prayer before we get started. Just bow real quick. Dear most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we come before you first and foremost, and we ask for forgiveness of our sins in the name of Jesus. Lord God, we ask that you help us put our burdens down and that you bless our minds, Lord, to be able to receive your holy word on this Sabbath day, Lord. Give us knowledge, wisdom, and understanding accordingly, and to see your Son, Jesus Christ's name, we pray, and we thank you, Heavenly Father. Amen. Amen. All right, so let me take this little detour right quick. Pick me up at Revelation, the 7th chapter. Because what people don't realize is this is the everlasting gospel. Same gospel for the first man to the last man. And God is getting ready to do a work in this earth. He's getting ready to destroy this earth as we know it. The way of life as we know it is going to be over. The way of life where unrighteousness reigns, where sin is reigning victorious. That life is on its way out the door. The only reason he hadn't done it yet, number one, he had a certain time, and number two, he's sealing his servants. Right? And what is he going to seal them with? The same thing he sealed them with in the beginning. So the Lord is getting ready to do a work. And like he always says, my sheep hear my voice. Right? So just in case you just joined in with us, the title of today's lesson is Upholding the Sabbath. All right, so we start at Revelation, the 7th chapter, verse 1. Hearken to the scripture.
And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth.
Now these 4 angels, they've been out on these 4 corners of the earth. They've been there for a long while, and they got one job. The Lord has reserved them for this certain purpose. Go ahead.
Holding the 4 winds of the earth.
Yes, he's holding the 4 winds of the earth, right? Go ahead.
That the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
So basically, it's destruction coming on earth. These 4 winds are these 4 Gentile dynasties. We don't have time to go into it right now, but it's world ruling empires or governments. Governments that control the world. The Lord is holding them back. They're going to bring destruction on each other. Which in turn is going to tear up the whole world. But go ahead.
2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east.
Doing what?
Having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice.
What did he say?
To the 4 angels. To whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
See, these angels, God is the one in control. That's what people don't know. He's like the puppet master. Man is just his tool that he uses. But he said, because these angels, they get ready to tear up the earth, right? But he said, hold on. Don't tear it up yet until I have sealed Now, this ain't had the seal of the living God. We're going to let him tell you. Verse 3.
Saying, hurt not the earth.
See, God is in control. He the one giving the directive, right? He said, hurt not the earth, so that lets you know destruction is vastly approaching this earth. And he said hurt because it's worldwide destruction. The Bible lets you know when he comes, he's going to do so much killing, it's going to be from one end of the earth to the other. It's going to look like the mountains are melted with his blood. That's what we're reading about. But he said, hurt not the earth until when?
Neither the sea, nor the trees.
What?
Till we have sealed the servants of our God in their forehead.
He sealed the servants of God in their forehead. Now, is God running around putting a stamp on each and every man and woman's forehead to serve him? No. What he's doing is he's imputing knowledge into your forehead of him. He's sealing you with his laws and his statutes and his commandments. Because you need that. That's your gateway to the rest. It's the most elementary knowledge. It's the start. All right, go ahead. 4. No, that's it. So Isaiah 8, we're going to see what he's sealing his servants with, or his followers, right? We're going to let the Bible tell you. I told you, but you might not believe me. You might not like the way I talk or how I sound or something, but we can read scripture better than I can talk. So that's what we're going to do. So God said, he said, judge righteously. Don't judge off appearance. Don't judge off sound. Judge off the words that's being read to you. Isaiah 8 chapter, verse 16. Talking to the scripture.
Bind up the testimony.
Bind it up. Put it. That's the Bible. The testimony, that's the New Testament. What else?
Seal the law.
Seal the law. That's the Old Testament. So we think together the whole book. Go ahead and read.
Among my disciples.
Among who? Seal the law. Among who?
My disciples.
My followers. That's what he's sealing the earth. He putting the whole the destruction of the whole earth on pause until he has sealed the law amongst his disciples or followers. So this is how important the Sabbath day is. Because John 10 chapter, we're going to see. Go give me that right quick. We just took a little detour. But we'll get back to the issue. Because it all works together. It's all one word. God says, seal the law amongst my disciples. Start at verse 1. Go ahead.
Verily, verily, I say unto you.
What happened?
He that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way.
What is what?
The same as a thief and a robber.
Same as a thief and a robber. No thief and no robber has any inheritance in the kingdom of God. The Lord Jesus is the door. What it mean, climb up some other way? It means what he set forth, the law, statutes, and commandments. If you try to get into heaven by circumventing that, you're just like a thief and a robber. Go ahead.
2.
Yes.
But he that entered in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep.
Go ahead and read.
To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice.
The sheep hear the shepherd's voice. Go ahead.
And he calleth his own sheep by name.
See, he know everybody ain't going to hear his voice or obey his word. But he said the sheep, meaning his sheep do it, or his disciples, the ones that seal with his promise. He said they hear his voice, and what happened? Look how distinct it is to him. Go ahead.
And he called his own sheep by name, and leadeth them out.
He called his own sheep, and he making sure his sheep go down the right path. Go ahead.
And when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them.
Yes.
And the sheep follow him.
The sheep follow him. Will they follow somebody else?
For they know his voice.
They know his voice. Go ahead.
And a stranger will they not follow.
They won't follow a stranger. This is why some of the people in the world hear the voice of the Lord when he say, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. And this is why other people in the world, when they hear these same commandments, these same set of rules and regulations that's established by God, they say, oh no, it's nailed to the cross. We couldn't keep that old cursed law. The Lord knew it was too hard. That's why he had to come send Jesus. You know, you're not his sheep. You don't hear his voice. You're not in tune with what he's telling you. Which is no marvel. It's been happening. Go drop down a little bit in that same chapter. Pick me up at verse 25. Because they came to Jesus, people that really didn't believe. They're like, how long do you make us to doubt? If you the Christ, tell us plainly. Go ahead. Verse 25. That's where we're picking it up at.
Jesus answered them.
What did he tell them?
I told you.
He said, if you the Christ, tell us plainly. He's like, I already told you. Right? Just like he told you to keep the Sabbath day. Go ahead.
And ye believe not.
You don't believe, though. Go ahead.
The works that I do in my Father's name.
What they do?
They bear witness of me.
Amen. What else?
But ye believe not.
Why don't you believe the Lord?
Because ye are not of my sheep, as I said unto you.
Uh-huh.
My sheep hear my voice.
They keep telling me. My sheep hear my voice. What's his voice? This right here. This is his voice. This is what he's telling us. These are his words. His sheep hear him. Go ahead.
And I know them.
Uh-huh. And he know his sheep, man.
They follow me.
They follow him. This is why some people can follow the Sabbath and some don't. It's the same set of rules. How do some people hear it and some don't? How do some people believe in it and some don't? Because he got it. His sheep hear his voice. This is his voice. Other sheep, they hear their pastor's voice. But my pastor said, the Christian Sabbath is on Sunday because Jesus died and rose on Sunday. Not the Jesus in this Bible. Right? What verse?
28.
Yes.
And I give unto them eternal life.
And that's the reward for hearing his voice. He give unto them eternal life.
And they shall never perish.
And he will never die. He ain't talking about this first death because every man is going to experience this. He's talking about the second death, which actually you alive, but you in constant torment day and night, burning with fire and brimstone. He said, my sheep hear my voice. That's key. Right? Pick me up at, let me get Daniel, the 7th chapter. Because there's some things that have been done in this world to deceive the sheep. Daniel 7th chapter, give me verse 25. But the Lord already gave us warning beforehand. So you can either hear his voice and become his sheep, or you can make excuses like you've been doing. You know, when you tell people about the Sabbath, you know what they say? Oh, saved by grace, saved by grace. Jesus did it all. Saved by grace. That's an excuse. You using grace as a cloak. But the Lord said, had I not come and done what I did, they would have had a cloak or a covering for their sin. But since I came and I did it, ain't no covering for your sin. All things are there before him. Verse 25. Because this is why. He already gave you warning what was going to happen. You didn't hear his voice. Verse 25. Go ahead.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
See, this is one of those coming out of those four winds that's going to help destroy the earth. This man is going to speak great words against the Most High. Some of this is already happening. What you mean, great words against the Most High? The Lord say, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. This man say, no, the Christian Sabbath is on Sunday, but Jesus rose. The Lord said, remember my death. He said, no, we're going to celebrate your birth December 25th. The Lord said, no man is in heaven, no man has even been to heaven except he who came down. And this man said, no, everybody who's ever died is gone up on a majesty with the Lord. You done made your homecoming. You up in heaven smiling, looking down. And the Bible don't support that at all. Everything the Lord say, this man is against. And this is, the whole world is following after this. He already got a system set in place. The whole world is following this system. The Lord say, man should not lie with mankind as he do with womankind. This man say, well, marriage now is between two people who love each other. So that's why the Lord say, my sheep hear my voice. And this is what he warned his sheep. Verse 25, go ahead.
Again.
Now, he said, he shall speak great words against the Most High.
And shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
And that's what's being done. The people that would serve God, being led astray. And they've been led astray so long. And it's so deeply embedded, it's almost like they have a reprobate mind. You try to tell them, they start regurgitating these great words against the Most High. Whatever they pastor said, that's what they start regurgitating to you. No matter if you, and it's so bad, once you show them scripture that clearly knocks down what they believe in, they still can't see it. That's because the saints have been worn out. They didn't hear his voice. Go ahead.
And think to change times.
See, because remember, what times is he going to change? God's times. Because remember, we started out, he talking about him speaking great words and doing great things against the Most High. So what time the Lord set in place, this man is going to change. Go ahead.
And laws.
And laws. Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. The 7th day of the week has been changed. That's one of God's laws. Number 4 commandment at that. He ranked it so high, it's above honor thy father and mother. It's above don't kill, don't steal, don't commit adultery, don't covet. It's above all those commandments. But this man has changed it. And even though he changed it, guess what the Lord said? My sheep hear my voice, and a stranger they will not follow. They know me, and I know them. Go ahead and finish that.
And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time.
That's until the Lord returns. That's how long the saints are going to get worn out. Why are the saints being worn out? Because they're following great deception. They're not following Jesus' word. They're not hearing his voice. They following this man that speaks great words against the Most High. That's what's happening today. And the Sabbath day is a clear indication of it. If you keep the Sabbath, you're not following that man. This man has set up a worldwide system. That's what people don't understand. He just used the name of Christ. But the Lord say, why you call me Lord and you don't do the things I say? He's not your Lord. Or back me up to Psalms 119 and verse 160. Psalms 119 and 160. No matter if a billion people tell a lie, it's still a lie. You just got a billion liars. That's what we got in the world. It's always going to be more sinners than saints. Because the road is narrow. Verse 160. Psalms 119, verse 160. Hearken to the scripture.
Thy word is true from the beginning.
What?
Thy word is true from the beginning.
This why and this guess sheep hear that. The Lord's word is true from how long?
The beginning.
From the beginning, all the way to the end. Go ahead and read.
And every one of thy righteous judgments endureth forever.
And every one of your right, the Sabbath is a righteous judgment. And how long does it endure for?
Ever.
Forever. Y'all heard that? It endured forever. Let me show you how long he talking about. Isaiah 66. Isaiah 66, verse 20. Let me see. 22, I believe. Isaiah 66 and 22. So he said his word is the truth all the way from the beginning. And every last one of his righteous judgments shall endure forever. Forever. Verse 22, hearken to the scripture.
For as the new heavens
and
the new earth,
yes,
which I will make.
So this hadn't come to pass yet, because we still standing on the old heavens. We still viewing the old, we still standing on the old earth. We still viewing the old heavens. So this is what we would call prophecy. The Lord is telling us what's to come in the future, because he can do that. He said, as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, go ahead,
shall remain before me.
What happened?
Said the Lord.
Yes.
So shall your seed and your name remain.
Go ahead. He talking about his people Israel. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass.
So that lets you know the Lord ain't done away with his people either. And it hadn't happened. Take place. Go ahead.
That from one new moon to another.
So that's from one new moon. That's a new month. Right? The new moon, we count the moon has phases and a cycle, 29 and a half, approximately 30 days. And that's how we tell the months. Every new moon represents a new month. And he said, so we could say from one new moon or one new month to another, what happened?
And from one Sabbath to another.
What?
And from one Sabbath.
This is the future.
Yep.
So what people don't know, when Jesus come down and set up his kingdom on this earth, this is what we're going to be doing, a Sabbath. In effect, what you thought? From one Sabbath to another,
shall all flesh come to worship before me, said the Lord.
Said who?
The Lord.
All flesh, the whole world is going to be keeping the Sabbath upon Jesus' return. It's still good. He said, every last one of my righteous judgments is true from the beginning, even to forever. We're giving you a brief glimpse at it right now. He said, all flesh shall come and worship before me from one Sabbath to another. But what if they don't want to come?
And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against
the ones that broke his law. That's what transgressed or sin. You have broken his commandments. You'll be able to go and look at them in that pit of fire. Go ahead.
For their worm shall not die.
Yes, their worm shall not die.
Neither shall their fire be quenched.
Neither shall their fire be everlasting. So you'll be able to see them. Go ahead and read.
And they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh.
The most hated sight to everyone who views. Exodus, the 31st chapter. As a matter of fact, hold it. Give me 1 John 2. 1 John 2. 1 John 2, verse 6. I know what y'all saying, but that you always change the scripture. Mm-hmm. Hey, baby, you gotta let the Spirit do his job. Mm-hmm. Some stuff you can't contain and control on your own all the time. You gotta let God do his work. Okay, they don't believe. Mm-hmm. Verse 6, hearken to the scripture.
He that saith he abideth in him.
What happened?
Ought himself also to walk even as he walked.
So if you say you abide in Christ, or Christ abide in you, you ought to abide just like he walked. Mm-hmm. And you go to Luke the 4th chapter, you will see how he walked. Mm-hmm. Jesus kept the Sabbath. It was his tradition.
Yep.
Go ahead and read.
7.
Yes.
Brethren,
huh?
I write no new commandment unto you.
Hey, look, ain't no new commandments. Why? Because they all righteous. Why do I have to change them? All of them, they endure forever. They right. They're the right way to walk. Go ahead.
But an old commandment.
An old commandment. That's what I'm writing to you. How long have we had it?
Which he had from the beginning.
What? You had it from the beginning. Every man got the same opportunity. Go ahead.
The old commandment is the word.
The old commandment is the word.
Which ye have heard from the beginning.
Which you have heard from the beginning. Exactly. Now this is where people get confused at. But we're going to break it down. Go ahead and read.
Again.
Huh?
A new commandment I write unto you.
I thought you just said you don't write no new commandment. You said you write the old commandment, which is the word we had from the beginning. Go ahead.
Which thing is true in him?
No, this thing is true in him, in Christ. Go ahead.
And in you.
Yes. Because, and in you. That's if he in you, right? Go ahead.
Because the darkness
is what?
Past. And the true light now shining.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So the new commandment is the same old commandment. The only reason it seems new to you is because the light has shined through the darkness. See, you was in darkness. You had no understanding on the commandments of God at first. But once he shined that light, he brought you out of that darkness. And now you start to keep what you thought was new commandments. Mm-hmm. But it's the same old commandment which you heard from the beginning. Mm-hmm. The new commandment is the old commandment. I'm going to show you how old it is. Back up to Genesis 2. Come on. Genesis 2. This is all the way in the beginning right here. Genesis 2 and 1. Because, you know, we got people that say, you know, my Sabbath day is any day. First of all, they say, oh, you can worship the Lord any day. Mm-hmm. See, I already know you done messed up. Mm-hmm. So I know you go on a Sabbath and you wash your car and you go to the mall and you have birthday parties and you watch football games and you go shopping. I know you do all that stuff, which is a direct violation of the Sabbath day. Mm-hmm. You have profaned it at that point. Mm-hmm. So you're saying you can worship God on any day, but you don't understand that on a Sabbath day, you disrespecting the Lord. Mm-hmm. And then you got to say, well, you know, I'm off on Tuesday, so Tuesday can be my Sabbath. And then, you know, you got the other one that say every day is the Sabbath. And then you got some that twist most scripture. They run, they say, esteem no day above the other one. What are you talking about? If we're going to quote scripture, let's understand what it means. Because I only got one correct meaning. So we're going to bust all them lies down. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is hear the Lord's voice. You're going to read it. Start at verse 1. This is Genesis 2 and 1. Hearken to the scripture.
Thus the heavens and the earth were finished.
It's all the way in the beginning. Right, go ahead.
And all the host of them.
And all the host of them. What else?
And on the 7th day God ended his work which he had made.
So what day we in right now talking about? The 7th day, right? On the 7th day, this is what God did. Now, if he ain't you and you with him, you ought to do like he did. On the 7th day, God ended his work which he had made.
And he rested on the 7th day.
And he did what?
Rested on the 7th day.
See, that just, okay, what else?
From all his work which he had made. And God blessed the 7th day.
And God blessed the 7th day. Did he bless every day?
And sanctified it.
He sanctified the 7th day from all the rest of the days. What you mean sanctified? He means separated. That means it holds more weight to the Lord than any other day. It's important unto him. It's holy unto the Lord. Now, this is what he did on the 7th day. Matter of fact, if you play close attention, he hadn't even given it a name yet. Let's see. Go ahead.
Because that in it, he had rested from all his work which God created and made.
So that's what God did on the 7th day, not any day of the week. Go to Exodus 20. Let's see what he called his 7th day. Since he blessed it. Exodus 20 and 8. Exodus 20, verse 8. So that's all the way in the beginning. He just finished the heaven and earth, and he did all that in 6 days. On the 7th day, he sat down and rested. Not only that, he sanctified it the 7th day. All right? That's what the Lord did. Verse 8, go ahead.
Remember.
What?
The Sabbath day. To keep it holy.
Why is he starting off with remember? Let's read verse 2. This is a commandment right here. Verse 2, go ahead.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Did he say remember that? That's number one commandment. Did he say remember that? No. Verse 5. I mean verse 4.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Verse 3.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Verse 15.
Thou shalt not steal.
Verse 16.
Thou shalt not bear false
Verse 13.
witness against thy neighbor.
Verse 13.
Thou shalt not kill.
Verse 12.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
See, we done read something. We done scattered across and read about 6 or 7 commandments. Now this one, what we're about to reread, is the only one he started out with remember. Verse 8, go ahead.
Remember.
He didn't say it about no other commandment, did he? Only reason I'm going to tell you to remember something is what? I know you're going to forget it. I know it's going to be altered. Letting you know, even though it get changed, it's still good. Remember it throughout all of the changes. Remember what?
The Sabbath day.
And do what?
To keep it holy.
Well, he hadn't told us what day that is, had he? When did he tell? He hadn't told us, right? He's going to tell us right now, though. He said, remember what? The
Sabbath day.
The Sabbath day. So every day of the week can't be the Sabbath day. Right? He said, and I need you to keep this day holy. Go ahead.
6 days shalt thou labor.
6 days shall you labor.
And do all thy work.
That's what God did. If he in you and you in him, why wouldn't he give you commandments to mirror himself?
Right.
Go ahead and read.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
Oh, now we got a name. For the 7th day is the Sabbath day. Of who? The Jews? The Christians?
Of the Lord thy God.
Of the Lord thy God. So that killed it. Every day can be the Sabbath day. Or my Sabbath day is Tuesday. Or every day is the same. It killed all of that. Every day is the same to you, but you a transgressor. So why wouldn't it? But to the Lord, the Sabbath day, the 7th day of the week is holy. It's separate. It holds more weight. It's holy to the Lord. Because why? He did something in the 7th day, which was rest. That's what Saturday means. That's what Saturday means, rest. All right, go ahead.
And if thou shalt not do any work.
So you can't work in the Sabbath day? What else?
Thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter.
So you can't send your sons and daughters out to go cut the grass and clean the house on the Sabbath day. Who else?
Thy manservant, nor thy maidservant.
So if you someone to have employees up front, you can't have that business open on the Sabbath day. See, this is what he's talking about. From one Sabbath to another, this is what we're going to be doing. The whole world is going to be shut down at this time like it should be. Because it is a day of rest. But you're going to find out he created it for man. You need it. You just too dumb to realize it. Go ahead.
Nor thy cattle. Nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
See, back in the day, that's how they used to, when they used to sow and reap in the field, they used to use, and plow the ground, they used to use animals. You can't even work them, he was saying. They got to have a day of rest also. Everything he wanted shut down. No work. That's the number one thing what we find that separates the Sabbath from any other day. So now, if every day is the Sabbath day, when you going to eat? Now, I'm not saying you can't eat on the Sabbath. I'm saying you can't work. So when you going to make money to buy you something to eat? Going along with your theology, every day is a Sabbath. The Lord says, don't work. When you going to eat? Every day simply cannot be the Sabbath. The Lord already made it where it's the 7th day of the week. Go ahead.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth.
That's what he keeps telling you, what he did in 6 days. All the way in the beginning, so you can be like him. He can be in you. The new commandment is the same old commandment. And when I ran into this commandment, it sure was new to me. Because psychologically, not even thinking about the Sabbath for 30 plus years, psychologically, I just assumed it was on Sunday. But once I ran into it, found it's on Saturday, the 7th day of the week. That was new. Even though it was the same old commandment. Now I can hear his voice. Now I can become one of his sheep. Now I can inherit that promise, which he said was eternal life. Go ahead.
The sea and all that in them is.
Yes.
And rested the 7th day.
He rested the 7th day. That's why he called it Sabbath, the day of rest.
Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day.
What other day did he do that to? Since all of them the same. None. All of them not the same to the Lord. The Sabbath day, the 7th day of the week, he hallowed it. He blessed it. That's why he named it. None of the other 6 days have names. He's showing you a separation just in that little simple thing right there. He named the Sabbath, the 7th day. Right? You finish that?
And hallowed it.
And hallowed it. It's holy. Exodus 31. Because the Lord already knows. See, he said, remember the Sabbath, because he knows this is my sheep. My sheep, this is what I want you to do. Remember the Sabbath day. And I know 99.999% of Christians think you can serve on Sunday and I can serve on Saturday and we still can make it to the kingdom. It ain't going to happen. One of them is wrong. Because if you going on the day that your pastor told you first day of the week, I guarantee you profaning the Sabbath. That's the problem. You're not keeping the Sabbath holy. You profaning it. You go and do the simplest things that you're not supposed to do. So you transgress the Sabbath without you even knowing. See, the Lord's sheep don't ask sin to sin like that. Because they hear his voice. They do what he tells them. Verse 12. This is Exodus 31 and 12. And I want you to just think about what the Lord is saying right here. Everybody wants a sign from God. You ain't never seen him in your life. You really do want to know if he's real. Because your faith ain't that strong. You want verification that you're on the right path. What he said. Verse 12, welcome to the scripture.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
what he tell Moses?
Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying,
and whatever is good for the Israelite, God's people, is good for everybody. Because they was God's priests. Their job was to give what the Lord gave them, which was the lively oracles of the ounces. And they were supposed to distribute that to the whole world and still are. Because the Lord said he got one law for the Israelite and one law for the stranger. Anybody that's not an Israelite. So you can't get around it. Go ahead.
Verily my Sabbaths ye shall keep.
Truly my Sabbath ye shall keep. Remember it. Go ahead.
For it is a sign between me and you.
Huh?
For it is a sign between me and you.
What's a sign?
The Sabbath.
A sign identifies something, right? Just like your signal light on your car. Everybody know what it is when you turn on that blinker to go right. It's a signal, root word sign. The car, so that the car behind you will know what you're doing. So they won't run up on you when you get ready to turn. So that the cars behind you or beside you can see that you're trying to come over. And they can give you space. It's a sign. Everybody understands what that signal light means. That's how a Sabbath is. It's a sign to the rest of the cars that you're going to get over. His Sabbath is a sign to his sheep. That what? How long?
It is a sign between me and you throughout your generations.
That's as long as it's a generation on this earth. Go ahead.
That ye may know.
That you may, and it's a sign to you that you may know. That see, if you turn on that right signal light, it's a sign to you that you know I'm trying to get over to the right line. Mm-hmm. See, this Sabbath is a sign to you that you may know that what?
I am the Lord.
That does what?
That does sanctify you.
See, by keeping the Sabbath, you will be sanctified, separated from the rest of the people that don't keep it. So when the Lord comes down and he rain that punishment down, he'll know, oh, it's a sign. You can't keep it. Don't slay you with the rest of them. Go ahead.
Ye shall keep the Sabbath therefore, for it is holy unto you.
It's holy, yes.
Everyone that defileth it shall surely be put to death.
And he ain't lying. See, this is the problem with you going on the first day of the week. I know you defiling the Sabbath. You're doing too many things on the Sabbath that God don't approve of. And he said, everyone who defileth might.
Everyone that defileth it shall surely be put to death.
The Lord can't lie. Go ahead.
For whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people.
And cut off, he mean killed. Go ahead.
6 days may work be done.
I keep telling you. Come on.
But in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest.
In what?
And the Sabbath is the Sabbath of rest.
Sabbath can't be every day. It can't be any day. It can't be Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday. It's the 7th day. Friday, sundown, and Saturday, Sunday. That's the 7th day of the week. The last day of the week. The weekend. Go ahead.
Holy to the Lord.
See, it's holy to who?
The Lord.
Go ahead.
Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death.
See, the Lord says holy to the Lord. And he tells you to be holy because he is holy. Right? Go ahead.
Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath.
How long?
To observe the Sabbath throughout their generations.
For what?
A perpetual covenant.
You didn't know Sabbath was part of the covenant. Perpetual means ongoing or continual. Without stopping. No break in it. It ain't no break in it. That's why he told you to remember. I don't care what they do. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they tell you. There's no break in this Saturday. It's good. Forever. Go ahead.
It is a sign.
He said it again. Between who?
Me and the children of Israel forever.
He keep telling you that. It's a sign between the Lord and his people. Even in this day, in this generation. If you keeping the Sabbath and you keeping it holy, that's the thing. You upholding it properly. Then it's holy to you. Right? Go ahead.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth. And on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed.
And what else happened?
And he gave it to Moses when he had made an end of communion with him upon Mount Sinai. 2 tables of testimony.
Yeah.
Tables of stone. Written.
With what?
With the finger of God.
That's what he wrote the Sabbath with. His own finger. Right? With his own finger, you know what he wrote? Remember. Remember. Right, so he said, anybody that does any work shall surely be put to death. Give me Isaiah. Now give me Numbers, the 15th chapter. Numbers 15. So be put to death is the judgment for breaking the Sabbath day. Verse 29. Numbers 15 and 29. Now we getting into some Sabbath day behavior, things that's appropriate or not appropriate for you to do on a Sabbath. We know no work. The Lord has said that several times. He said, in 6 days shall work be done. But the 7th is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. Verse 29, hearken to the scripture.
Ye shall have one law for him that sinneth through ignorance, both for him that is born among the children of Israel,
and who else?
And for the stranger that sojourneth among them.
I told you. See, you thought you got away from the Sabbath when he said it's a sign between me and Israel. Well, Lord said whatever is good for Israel is good for the stranger also. He said it's one law for the person that sinned through ignorance. That means to break God's commandments. That's what the biblical definition of sin is, to break God's commandments. There's only one law, right? He said for the children of Israel and for the stranger. Go ahead.
30. But the soul that doeth out presumptuously.
That's intentionally, right? You intentionally offend God. Go ahead.
Whether he be born in the land or a stranger.
What happened?
The same reproacheth the Lord.
So what?
And the soul, and that soul shall be cut off from among his people.
That's right. He got that. So it's a lot of people out there that know that Saturday is the Sabbath. That's dangerous for you. That's presumptuous sin. You know that Saturday is the Sabbath, but you still go worship on Sunday. The Lord said what? At the end of that, and that soul shall be
cut off,
killed
from among his people.
Go ahead.
31.
Why is he going to be cut off?
Because he had despised the word of the Lord.
See, you hated the word of the Lord. You thought the Sabbath was just a little simple old thing. I do it if I want to. If I don't, no big deal. I'm still worshiping God. At least I'm still worshiping God. You can keep that worship. You worshiping another God. You just using Jesus' name. Go ahead and read.
And had broken his commandments.
You broke the Sabbath. Number 4, you broke his commandment.
That soul shall utterly be cut off. His iniquity shall be upon him.
So you know what it means? You have died in your sin. No sacrifice for you. No atonement. You naked. You died in your sin. The payment for committing sin is death. And that death he's talking about is that lake of fire. Remember we read earlier, he said that where they worm quench it not. He said they're going to go and be able to look on all of the souls that transgress against me, where the fire don't quench. And they worm don't stop. That's what he's talking about right here. Go ahead.
32.
Yes.
And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness,
what they had?
They found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day.
So gathering sticks, you working. Moses had already explained the law to the children of Israel. They knew better. So you're going to go out on your own accord and you're going to go gather sticks on a Saturday. That's work. Go ahead.
33.
Yes.
And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron.
See, they knew it was a problem. Right? The Lord gave the judgment in the beginning, but I don't think they was really sure about that judgment. So they brought him to Moses and Aaron. Go ahead.
And unto all the congregation.
Yes.
And they put him in war.
They put him in a little holding facility.
Because it was not declared what should be done to him.
And
the Lord said unto Moses.
Who?
The Lord said unto Moses.
Moses ain't in control. He just following the instructions. This is what the Lord said. Go ahead.
The man shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the count.
For gathering sticks? On a Sabbath night? Lord, are you sure? See, to you, that seemed like a little baby issue. But to the Lord, it's a big thing. Because it's more about you despising his word than what you did. You worked, whether it was gathering sticks or whatever. He told you don't do that. And you know what? This man, why it's so hard on him? Because he did it presumptuously, intentionally, knowing that it's the Sabbath day. So the Lord said, that man shall surely be put to death. All right, go ahead.
36. And all the congregation brought him without the count, and stoned him with stones, and he died, as the Lord commanded Moses.
So how the Lord going to do this to this man and let you get away with it? I just want to know. Because he said all his judgments are righteous. He got to judge you by the same law. That would be unfair if he killed this man and let you get away with it. He using this for an example for you so that you can get your mind and your life right. So that you can uphold this Sabbath so that he don't have to make an example out of you. See, the only thing is now, this man died right away. Right now, the people taking it for granted because he's giving you a little grace period to get it right. That's why the punishment is going to be more severe. So instead of this type of death, once he returns, the death is gonna be more severe. It's gonna deal with you going into that lake that burning with fire and brimstone, which is a way more harsh punishment than just simply dying in this flesh. Because that death is eternal. Once you in, ain't no way out. You still die for your transgressions, just like this man here. Only thing is, you die eternally. Because God gave you a grace period, and you spit in the face of that grace period. You still didn't change. So he said, no work upon the Sabbath day. That's one type of behavior. So no, every day can't be the Sabbath, because on the Sabbath you can't work. You're not supposed to work. So let's go and get another one. Pick me up at Exodus 16, verse 23. Exodus 16. Okay, Exodus 16, verse 23. Go ahead.
And he said unto them,
yes,
this is that which the Lord had said.
What?
Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath.
Okay, what kind of Sabbath? The holy Sabbath, right? Go ahead.
Unto the Lord.
Unto the Lord, right?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Bake that which ye will bake today.
So bake that which you going to bake today.
And seed that which ye will seed.
Seed, that means boil, to boil or cook. Whatever it is you're going to cook, do it today. What day? The day before the Sabbath. Right? Go ahead.
And that which remaineth over lay up for you to be kept until the morning.
Right. Whatever you got left over, keep it to the morning. Leftovers. On the Sabbath. He says, so he got one thing he don't want you to do is cooking and boiling and baking on the Sabbath. Because all of that stuff is not rest. And it requires work. Go to the 35th chapter of Exodus. So no cooking. Verse 1. See, if every day is a Sabbath, when you gonna cook? Go ahead.
And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together, and said unto them,
what did he say?
These are the words which the Lord hath commanded.
Once again, the Lord is in command. What did he say?
That ye should do them.
Yes.
6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day there shall be to you an holy day.
Yes.
A Sabbath of rest to the Lord.
Yes.
Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death.
Go ahead.
Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day.
You shall kindle no fire, because that requires work. They kindle no fire on the Sabbath day. Once again, he said, anybody who works, you put to death. So no cooking, no working. See, the Lord put these stipulations on the Sabbath so that you can't come back and say every day can be the Sabbath. No, every day can't. This day is separate. He wants you at rest, your mind at ease. Your mind focused on Him. You can't focus on the Lord if you cook. So some people cook meals, it takes them 8 hours. How you gonna focus on the Lord if you in the kitchen all day? It's not happening. The Lord say, you know what? Don't even do that on my holy Sabbath day. Don't even bring that to me, right? So let's go and get another behavior. Pick me up at Nehemiah, the 13th chapter. Nehemiah 13. Start at 15. Nehemiah 13. Verse 14. I'll take 14. Go ahead.
Remember me.
Who?
Oh my God.
Nehemiah is praying to the Lord. He said, remember me, oh my God. Go ahead.
Concerning this.
Concerning what?
And wipe not out my good deeds that I have done for the house of my God.
Yes.
And for the offices thereof.
Like what?
In those days saw I in Judah some treading wine presses on the Sabbath.
So Judah, you know, that's the city where the Lord's people reside. He said, I saw them on a Sabbath day treading wine presses. What else?
And bringing in sheaves.
Bringing in sheaves. That's bundles of crops. Right? What they doing? That requires work. Go ahead.
And laid in ashes.
And laid in ashes. They laid in the donkeys with all those they heavy burden. Remember that even the animals have to be at rest according to the law. Go ahead.
As also wine, grapes and figs.
And what else?
And all manner of burdens.
All manner of burdens. What? Go ahead.
Which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day.
They brought them into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. So the Sabbath day is still good in this time. It's a long way from the beginning. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And I testified against them in the day wherein they sold victuals. There dwelt men of Tyre also therein.
So he testified against the people that was doing it. Meaning he let them know that what you're doing is not appropriate. You're profaning the Sabbath by doing this act, what you're doing. And he said, I testified against them, all of them that sold victuals. So you're not supposed to buy and sell on the Sabbath day. Victuals is food and all kind of goods and services. They was doing that on a Sabbath day. You're not supposed to sell and buy on a Sabbath day. So once again, when are you going to eat? We just sticking with the simplest thing, eat. When you going to eat if every day is the Sabbath? Go ahead.
There dwelt men of Tyre also therein.
So these are people that's not of God's people. These are people from other nations, African nations. Go ahead.
Which brought fish and all manner of ware and sold on the Sabbath unto the children of Judah.
See, that children of Judah are supposed to know better. But obviously they was buying. I guess that money was so good. People coming from near and far to sell to the children of Israel. And they doing it even on the Sabbath. But Judah is supposed to know better. They're supposed to not partake in this on the Sabbath day. Go ahead.
And in Jerusalem.
Yes.
Then I continued with the nobles of Judah.
And what you tell
and said unto them.
Look what he told them. Go ahead.
What evil thing is this?
What you mean?
That ye do and profane the Sabbath day.
See, you didn't know that? Buying and selling. You profane the Sabbath day. So you can see with all of these things how the Lord sanctified. You can see how much different it is from the rest of the day. All the rest of the day you can buy, sell, you can cook, you can work. So the Lord giving you physical things to show you how separate it is from all the rest of these days. Go ahead and read.
18. Did not your fathers thus? And did not our God bring all this evil upon us?
Yeah, the Lord kicked them out of their city, sent them into captivity for that. Go ahead.
And upon this city,
yes,
yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath?
See, Nehemiah know the Lord ain't going to let that slide. Just like at this end time. Only thing is, the people that's breaking it at the end is going to get their reward or their punishment on Judgment Day. See, that's the day you can't afford to receive that punishment. Because ain't no coming back from it then. Once you hit that hot fire, it's over. Your works are finished. You don't have a chance to get it right at that point. And the worst thing that could ever happen to you from that day forward was to ever been born in this flesh. You would have been better off had you never existed. Go ahead.
19.
Yes.
And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gate should be shut.
See, it's beginning. So he took some initiative. I know these people hard-headed. I know they're going to keep profaning. I'm trying to help them out. So on the Sabbath, they said it began to get dark before the Sabbath. What you do?
I commanded that the gate should be shut.
He commanded that the gate should be shut. Close the gates to the city. Go ahead.
And charged that they should not be open till after the Sabbath.
That's right. And I told them that the commandment was don't open these gates until after the Sabbath to prevent these people from buying and selling on God's holy days and profaning God's Sabbath. Go ahead.
And some of my servants set I at the gates.
And he said some of his servants at the gates to make sure that nothing goes down. Go ahead.
That there should no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day.
That's right. Go ahead.
So the merchants and sellers of all kind of war lodged without Jerusalem once or twice.
So that's how good that money was. That money was so good, they was willing to wait outside of the gate. Right? They wanted them. They did everything in power to help transgress. Go ahead.
21. Then I testified against them and said unto them,
yes,
why lodge ye about the wall?
They're like, why you? He talking to the ones that's trying to bring the goods and services into the city. He said, what you lodging around the wall for? You know it's the Sabbath. Go ahead.
If you do so again,
what's going to happen?
I will lay hands on them.
He ain't talking about praying hands either. He talking about Mike Tyson hands. Hands, what you gonna feel.
Yeah.
So, right? It's gonna be some furniture moving, some physical activity. That's what's gonna happen. He gave him fair warning. Go ahead.
From that time forth,
yes,
came they no more.
They got the message. They got that. They got that no more. Said from that time forward, they came no more on the Sabbath. So Bible lets you know buying and selling and bringing in all type of burdens on the Sabbath will profane. And they talking about spiritual burdens. We're really talking about the physical burden right there, but it's spiritual burden as well. Things that take your mind away from the Lord. This is a day for you to focus and concentrate on God and get your rest. Mental burdens take you away. Because remember, wherever your heart is, wherever your mind is, that's where your treasure is going to be. That stuff is your burden. You just don't know that. Your car, no matter how much you like it, if it ain't paid off, that's your burden. Your house, that's your burden. You're a slave to that stuff. Because you have to go to work every day, whether you want to or not, just to keep that stuff. That's a burden. That's your burden. Lose your job. Watch how much you worry about that stuff. If it ain't your burden, you so far above what the book is telling you, lose your job. You'll see just how much of your burden it is. That's what the book. Don't bring that burden in on the Lord's Sabbath day. You profane, He needs you to keep it holy. Right? So buying and selling, that's something else. You can't even go to Isaiah 58. So the Lord is real specific on His Sabbath day. Isaiah 58. We can start on the out at verse 13. Harken to the scripture.
If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy own pleasure on my holy days.
See, that's another thing. He don't want you doing your own pleasures on His holy day. What you mean? Your pleasures, the things that you enjoy. The things that you enjoy most. If your pleasure is drinking, I don't want you doing it on this Sabbath. If your pleasure is smoking, I don't want you doing that on this Sabbath day. If your pleasure is working, with some people, pleasure is work. He don't want you doing that on this Sabbath day. If your pleasure is football and basketball game, not on this Sabbath day. If your pleasure is beauty pageants, not on this Sabbath day. Turn your foot away from your own pleasure, your own will. On a Sabbath day, and He said, and
called the Sabbath of delight.
Yes.
The holy of the Lord.
Holy of the Lord. Go ahead and read.
Honorable.
Honorable.
And shall honor Him.
And that's what it is. That's what it's for. How you going to honor Him when you got burdens on your mind? You can't. There ain't no way you can play both sides of the fence. You can't straddle the fence. The Lord said you can't serve two masters. Wherever your treasure is, we don't read it. That's where your heart is going to be. Your pleasure. Your treasure is your pleasure. That's wherever your treasure, that's where your mind is going to be. Go ahead.
Not doing thine own ways.
Not doing your own ways.
Not finding thine own pleasure.
See, the Lord gave you 6 days to do that stuff. If you can't give Him one, you definitely have another God. Go ahead.
Nor speaking thine own words.
Not even speaking your own words. What you mean? I can't ask so-and-so how they doing? No, that's not what He's talking about. Your own words that go after your pleasure. You speak your own words when you start talking about the things that you like or you want or you desire in this life. They don't have anything to do with the Sabbath or the Lord. That's your own will. Those things that you are concerned about. The Lord ain't concerned about that. That's your own words. Go ahead.
You on 14?
Yes.
Then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord.
So that's where you're supposed to find your delight, your pleasure, if you Lord your treasure. On his Saturday, you're supposed to delight yourself in the Lord. He's going to give you rest. Come on.
And I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth.
See, this is why I first ran into the Sabbath. I was trying to get this blessing. He said, I said, what's this? He's going to call you to ride on the high places of the earth. I need that. Huh? So this is what opened my mind and just started even looking at the Sabbath day. Go ahead.
And feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father.
I said, I didn't know what that was, but I said I wanted it. Because I knew it was good if you follow ride on the high places of the earth. Well, I know what it is now. Go ahead.
For the mouth of the Lord had spoken.
And the one thing I knew the Lord couldn't lie. He just etched it in stone. He said, the mouth of the Lord has spoken. So you got to stop doing your own pleasure and pleasing yourself, doing things that you love on the Lord's Sabbath day. It's a day for you to keep holding, to delight yourself in the Lord. Back up to the 56th chapter of Isaiah. Give me verse 2. Go ahead.
Blessed is the man that doeth this.
What?
And the son of man that layeth hold on it.
What? That does what?
They keep the Sabbath from polluting it.
See, that's the key. If you in the truth and you know it, you keep the Sabbath. Now you got to take it one step further. You got to keep it from polluting it. And the way that people in the truth pollute the Sabbath day is mainly is with your mind. You ain't out. You here at church, but mentally you somewhere else. You might as well not even have came. You should have went out with what your heart is telling you to go out. Because coming to church don't make you keep the Sabbath holy. You profane it when your mind goes after other things. Because once your mind goes, the words going to follow. So in actuality, what's happening is it has become a ritual or a tradition for you to just go to church. It ain't in your heart at that point. It's a habit. If it's not in your heart, you're going to give it up. That's the problem. You have to keep it holy. Keep from polluting it. Go ahead.
And keep it his hand from doing any evil.
Keep your hand from doing any evil. That's transgressing the Sabbath. He said, blessed is the man that do this. Blessed is that man that does this. That's what we want to be, blessed. Right? Go to Matthew 6 real quick. Pick me up at verse 21. You need to call the Sabbath a delight to the Lord. Not speaking your own words or doing your own pleasures. That's profane. You profane the Sabbath by doing that. So, once again, to be the dead hearts, we might as well. How can every day be the Sabbath? You can do your own pleasure the rest of the 6 days. Verse 21. Go ahead.
For where your treasure is,
what's going to happen?
There will your heart be also.
So whatever is most important to you, that's your treasure. So wherever your treasure is, that's where your mind gonna be. So you come to the Sabbath and your mind, your treasure is college football. Guess where your mind gonna be? On college football. So now you here at church or in class on the Sabbath, but you thinking about college football. You're thinking about that birthday party that you set up to go to after the Sabbath. You're thinking about that get together. Your mind is somewhere else. That's where your treasure is. That's where your mind gonna be. Drop down to verse 24. That's why he tell you, turn your foot away. And that's why I tell you to call the Sabbath a delight, or to delight yourself in the Lord. On Sabbath day. Verse 24, come on.
No man can serve two masters.
Can't do it. It's impossible. But we're going to try it anyway. Go ahead.
For either he will hate the one and love the other.
That's what's going to happen. Either you're going to hate the one and love the other, or else
he will hold to the one and despise the other.
You're going to hold or cling to one and kind of despise the other one. So you can't serve, your heart can't be two places at one time. It's either or. What verse?
You cannot serve God and man.
You can't serve God and money. Material wealth, material gain. See, people don't understand this. Too many things we do in the truth on the Sabbath that's not permissible. And we're not going to get away. We just get by right now. You know, sports on the Sabbath, that's out. You will be severely punished for that. Mark my words. You can't come and do sports and say, "This is how I'm going to get my scholarship." Because what's happening at that point, you get it from Satan what you could have got from the Lord. Satan is giving you that. All you got to do is play on Friday night. Free school. That's the only way you can get a scholarship. That's what the world made us think, don't use your mind. Let the Lord provide. Don't lean on your own understanding. That's the way you understand. That ain't from the Lord, though. The Lord ain't going to bless you. He'll blow your knee out. Now what you got to follow back home? When he say, "No, not your own pleasure," that's what he means. When he say you can't serve two masters, that's exactly what he means. You don't need to lean on the world. Because whatever they give you, they're going to make sure you transgress God's commands. Mm-hmm. So you can't serve God and man. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Right? Pick me up at, go to Matthew the 12th chapter. I only got a couple more. Matthew 12. Now Jesus was trying to teach the people how to properly keep the Sabbath. Because the Pharisees and Sadducees, they made the Sabbath their burden. They had started putting all these rules and regulations on the Sabbath on what you could and can't do. What you can and can't do. But they had made it real burdensome for the people. They took away all the mercy. They took away all the common sense. But the Lord is going to show them in this chapter how to properly keep it. Right? This is verse 1. Go ahead.
At that time, Jesus went on the Sabbath day through the corn. Mm-hmm. And his disciples were in hunger.
Yeah, a lot of times when you hear people read it, they're going to say Jesus picked corn on the Sabbath. Jesus never picked corn on the Sabbath.
Right. He
said his disciples was hungry. They all walking through the cornfield. He said his disciples were hungry, and what happened?
They began to pluck the ears of corn.
And they began to pluck the ears of corn. Jesus didn't pluck that corn. Well, look what happened.
But when the Pharisees saw it,
what happened?
They said unto him,
Jesus,
behold,
yes,
thy disciples, thy disciples, do what? Do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day.
See, that's what they said. They making a judgment call right here, the Pharisees. They telling Jesus, why do your disciples do? But Jesus, if it was wrong, Jesus would have corrected them right there, right? Mm-hmm. He the master. So they came to him because they always want to condemn him and trip him up. And so they asked, let's tell him, why do your disciples do that which is not lawful upon the Sabbath? Go ahead.
But he said unto them,
yeah,
have ye not read what David did? When he was in hunger?
See, so he took it right back to the law. He said, my disciples hungry. You haven't read what David did on the Sabbath day when he was hungry? What?
And they that were with him?
And the people that was with him. So just like Jesus got his disciples with him, David and his people was with him, they was all hungry also. He said, you ain't read what they did? Go ahead.
How he entered into the house of God and did eat the showbread?
Yeah, because the showbread was just for the priests. They had nothing else to eat though. Go ahead.
Which was not lawful for him to eat.
It wasn't lawful for David to eat that. It was just strictly for David wasn't no priest. Go ahead.
Neither for them which were with him.
Neither for the ones that was with him. They definitely wasn't priests. Go ahead.
But only for the priests.
Yes.
Or have you not read in the law?
Have you not read where?
In the law?
What?
How that on the Sabbath days.
What?
The priests in the temple profaned the Sabbath.
Because they had to make sure that the fire stayed lit in the temple. That was their job. See, the Lord told the same rules and regulations for all Israel. Priests was there when the Lord was explaining the Sabbath. But they had certain jobs. They had to take care of the business of God on the Sabbath day. Lord told them, don't let that fire go out. This oil must burn continuously. Right? Go ahead.
And are blameless.
And he didn't charge them for that because he knew he didn't want to instruct them to do that. To keep the oil burning. They blameless. Right? Go ahead.
But I say unto you,
what you say?
That in this place is one greater than the temple.
Yeah, because the temple was where where the showbread went down, the priest had to eat it, and where the priest had to keep the fire burning. But he let them know, he said, they had to do that, and they blameless. He said, but now it's one that's right among, talking about himself, that's greater than the work, basically greater than the works they had to do in the temple. The Lord is greater than the temple. That's what he let them know. Go ahead.
7. But if ye had known what this means,
see, if you had known what mean, Lord,
I will have mercy and not sacrifice. You would not have condemned the guiltless.
See, I didn't condemn my disciples. They guiltless. They blameless in this situation. The only reason they doing it is because they hungry. See, what you don't realize is one of the greatest commandments is love thy brother as thyself. They hungry. Sometimes they trump some other things that's been written down. Because you can sum up the whole law and commandments on that, the Lord said. So if they're hungry, why wouldn't he feed them? Why wouldn't he be guiltless? Just because it's the Sabbath day? Still got to eat. Now he said, if you had known what this means, I would have mercy. I got mercy on them. That's why they're guiltless, right? They're guiltless because the Lord has mercy on them. And not sacrifice. He don't want that sacrifice to sin. Hold your spot. Give me Exodus 20 and 6. Let me see who he have mercy on. Because he don't have mercy on just any old everybody. He finna tell you exactly the ones he have mercy on. And this is why they blameless. Go ahead.
And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me.
And do what?
And keep my commandments.
That's it. They keep the commandments. That's why the Lord have mercy on them in this instance. They're not just intentionally, or remember the law was saying, he that presumptuously breaks transgress God's commandment. That's who getting punished. They wasn't doing it presumptuously just for the sake of doing it. They doing it because they hungry out of necessity. So just like the priest out of necessity had to keep the oil and the fire going in the temple, even though they had to do it on. So they blameless. The Lord didn't charge them for that. Just like David was hungry, and the people with him, and it wasn't nothing else to eat. Out of necessity, he ate the bread, the showbread that was only for the priests. See, the Lord have mercy because it's done out of necessity. Go ahead. He said, if you had done this, you would not have condemned the guiltless. Go ahead. Verse 8. Back to Matthew 12. We're going to pick it up in verse 8. Matthew 12 and verse 8. So you see the mercies for the ones that continue in the commandments. Go ahead.
For the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath day.
That's who is Lord of the Sabbath day. Meaning he made it. The Son of Man, that's Jesus. He the Lord of the Sabbath day. That's what he let you know. Now, hold your spot right there again. Give me Mark 2, verse 27. So, because we're going to find out what he made it for. Mark 2 and 27 says, see, the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. Lord is master, right? You can't tell the master how it's supposed to be upheld. He the one who created it. Mark 2, verse 27. Hearken to the scripture.
And he said unto them,
what happened?
The Sabbath was made for man.
That's what he made it for. It wasn't made to be burdensome and legalized with all kind of rules and stipulations that man put on that the Lord didn't. You can't condemn me. I'm the one who created it. And I created it for who?
For man.
And what else?
And not man for the Sabbath.
Man wasn't created for the Sabbath. He created it to give man peace and ease. You finished that verse? Okay, go back now to where we left off in the 12th chapter of Matthew. He said, the Sabbath was made for man. It's made to benefit man. That's why he said, therefore the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath day. Now go ahead and finish. Continue.
9.
Verse 9, yes.
And when he was departed thence, he went into their synagogue, and behold,
What happened?
there was a man which had his hand withered.
And it's still a Sabbath day, right? A man had a withered hand, go ahead.
And they asked him,
what?
saying,
Uh-huh.
Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath day?
Now, because the Son of Man should know, because he's Lord of the Sabbath. They said, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days? Go ahead.
That they might accuse him.
See, but they don't want the correct answer. They just want to accuse him of breaking the law. But go ahead and read.
11. And he said unto them,
Yes.
What man shall there be among you?
He slung out a parable. Because his sheep going to hear his voice, the rest of them ain't going to get it. He said, what man among you
that shall have one sheep,
Uh-huh.
and if it fall into a pit on the Sabbath day,
Yes.
will he not lay hold on it
Uh-huh.
and lift it out?
Now what man gonna do that? You only got one sheep. And your sheep, your one sheep that you got, this is how you make your money. He done fell into the pit on a Saturday. You gonna let him die? No, none one of them gonna do that. Nobody's gonna do that. So out of necessity, you have to go and save that sheep. If you don't go and save that sheep, you're gonna die in that pit. So you gonna go get other people to help you too. So that's what's gonna happen. So, but this is done out of necessity. This ain't giving us an excuse to work on God's Saturday. Now, there's certain jobs that you might have to work. You might be a neurosurgeon or heart surgeon, and you're the only one that can perform that type of surgery, right? You know, you gotta go, but you're gonna let the man die on the Sabbath. See, love thy brother as thyself. Common sense. You gotta use wisdom. This ain't giving you no leeway, but out of necessity, some things have to be done. Now, if you come into the knowledge of the truth, you already been working on the Sabbath, the Lord gonna have mercy on you. But sooner or later, if you really believe in the Lord, you gotta try to take that to your boss. And you gotta ask the Lord to put that on his heart to make me allow me to be able to have this Sabbath day off. And it'll work. I've seen it too many times. Because the Lord is not gonna give you a commandment that you can't keep. That he won't move on your behalf if you sincere. Now you got to put some action behind that faith. Faith without works is dead. So you got, in order for it to work for you, got to put some action behind that faith. If you don't, it's going to come to a point where you're just going to be running in circles. You're going to keep on working on the Lord's Sabbath over and over and over, thinking everything is okay. You ain't going to even have enough faith to take it to your superior. See, but the Lord, if you his sheep, he said, he gonna lead you. Meaning, whatever obstacle is in the way, he gonna move it out the way. So you don't have to work on a Saturday 10 years straight. You don't have to do that. You just have to have enough faith to put it in action, And if it don't happen, then the Lord might be showing this ain't the job for you. I got something better in store for you. Because you got to understand, some people are going to have enough faith to where they going to do no work on the Sabbath. They're going to quit their job. They ain't going to take a job that make them work every other Sabbath. And they're going to stand in that same judgment with you. And what can you tell the Lord at that point? These people in your same generation, they had the same obstacles. What you going to tell them? Think about it. Go ahead and read.
12.
Yes.
How much then is a man better than a sheep?
That's right. A man is much better than a sheep in the eyes of the Lord. Right? He said, go ahead.
Wherefore,
it
is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days.
Wow, now you see. It's lawful to do well on the Sabbath day. You find a woman who's got 3 kids, no husband. You know, they walk in the street and they hungry and you don't have nothing to give them to eat, but you got money in your pocket. Even though it say don't buy and sell on the same, you can go get them something to eat. That's lawful. Because how is it lawful, Brother Al? You keeping the law. What law? You loving thy brother as yourself. Loving thy neighbor as yourself. So the Lord will have mercy on you. That's what he's showing. Yeah, even though you transgress the Sabbath and buying and selling, he have mercy on you for what you did. You see? It all works together. You didn't just go out buying and selling because you wanted to out of necessity. They were starving. You helped. You did well on the side. It's lawful for you to do that. So the Lord said he'll have mercy and not sacrifice. You don't have to offer a sacrifice for their sin. You don't have to offer a sacrifice for profaning the Sabbath because the Lord have mercy on you for that. Right? What verse?
13.
Go ahead.
Then said he to the man, stretch forth thine hand. And he stretched it forth, and it was restored whole like as the other.
That's right. So the Lord Jesus is showing. So now we got one thing, what is lawful to do? It's lawful to do good on the Sabbath. It's lawful. Go in Luke the 4th chapter. Luke 4, pick me up at verse 14. Show you something that Jesus did on the Sabbath. Remember, if he ain't you, you're supposed to walk like he did. Verse 14, hearken to the scripture.
And Jesus returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee. And there went out a fame of him through all the region round about.
Yes.
And he taught in their synagogue.
So he's full of the Spirit. Y'all was talking about we full of the Holy Ghost. All right? Look what Jesus did when he full of the Spirit. Go ahead.
And he taught in their synagogue.
And?
Being glorified of all.
Yes.
And he came to Nazareth where he had been brought up.
That's where he been brought up, raised at. Go ahead.
And as his custom was.
What's the custom?
Tradition.
That's a habit or a tradition, right? Some of you do all the time. It's part of who you are. Go ahead.
He went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day.
He went into the synagogue when?
On the Sabbath day. And stood up for to read.
Yeah, he stood up to read. That's what we're doing right now on the Sabbath day. You ain't going to believe what he read.
And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah.
Jesus didn't read no New Testament?
Isaiah.
They ain't had no New Testament at that time. See, but if you're a New Testament Christian, you would never go back to the Old Testament. The Old Testament is the foundation. But you see what day Jesus worshiped and served on, right? He went into the synagogue on a Sabbath day. And he stood up and read the book Isaiah. Go ahead.
And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written.
That's good. Drop down to verse 30. Go ahead.
But he passed through the midst of them, went his way, and came down to Capernaum, a city of Galilee.
And what did he do?
And taught them on the Sabbath days.
He taught when?
On the Sabbath days.
And what else?
And they were astonished at his doctrine. For his word was with power.
That's how he taught, with power, authority. But you see, his cousin, he only going on the Sabbath day. And he teaching and he reading out of the books of the law. That's what we do. Right? And he told you to remember it no matter what. Right? Back up to Amos 8. And he tell you, call it a delight to the Lord. He said, wherever your heart is, wherever your treasure is, that's where your heart going to be also. He letting us know now. This for us in the truth now. He letting us know how we really feel about it. He revealing the intents of our mind. Right here in verse 4. This is Amos 8. Amos 8 and 4. Amos 8, verse 4. Go ahead.
Hear this.
Who?
O ye that swallow up the needy.
Oh, swallow up the needy. Go ahead.
Even to make the poor of the land to fail.
See, the ones that swallow up the needy, those are the people that transgress the commandments all the time, and they try to set traps for the ones that would keep the commandments to fall into. Go ahead.
Saying, when will the new moon be gone?
See, he's revealing the mind of the people. This is what we say. Go ahead.
That we may sell corn.
Because you're not supposed to do that, right? Go ahead.
And the Sabbath.
You're not supposed to buy and sell on the Sabbath, but you say, I can't wait till it be over. You outside watching. the sun till it go down. Because why? Because you can't wait till it be over. Why? Because your heart is somewhere else. The Sabbath is not a delight to you. It's a struggle. It's a burden. Because your heart is not there. Go ahead.
That we may set forth wheat, making the ephod small and the shekel great,
yes,
and falsifying the balances by deceit.
This is what people do when they get into the buying and selling. Everybody trying to beat and cheat each other. But I just want to show you that he's showing us how we really think about the Sabbath. He's showing us the mindset. He's revealing it to you. And he's warning us, don't be like this. The Sabbath should be a delight unto us. Right, give me Ezekiel 20. It's the same. It was happening. Ezekiel 20, verse 12. Ezekiel 20, verse 12. Go ahead.
Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign.
To what?
To be a sign.
Yes.
Between me and them. That they might know that I am the Lord that sanctified them.
So you said it again. Even in this day, it's a sign. The people that keep the Sabbath, you know it's only a small number. You see it. The whole world is doing whatever it is that they want to do on God's Sabbath while you are trying to uphold it and keep it. Because it's a sign between you and God. Go ahead.
13. But the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness.
Yes.
They walked not in my statutes.
And what else?
And they despised my judgments.
Yes.
Which if a man do, he shall even live in them.
Yes.
And my Sabbaths, they greatly polluted.
They greatly polluted. So he's warning us not to pollute his Sabbath, right? Go ahead.
Then I said,
what you say?
I will pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness.
I'm going to let them make it.
I will pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness.
I'm going to show them mercy.
I will pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness.
And why he didn't show them mercy? Because they greatly despised. They hated. They weren't keeping it. They weren't keeping the commandments. So he didn't show them mercy. He poured out his wrath upon them. Go ahead.
To consume them.
To consume them. Go ahead and read.
But I wrought for my name's sake that it should not be be polluted before the heathen.
Right.
And whose sight I brought them out. Yet also I lifted up my hand unto them in the wilderness.
Yes.
That I would not bring them into the land which I had given them.
Right. He killed a whole generation right there in the wilderness. Go ahead.
Flowing with milk and honey.
Why wouldn't you do that? You brought them out of Egypt for that purpose.
Which is the glory of all lands.
The best land in the world he was going to give them. Why wouldn't you give it to them, Lord?
Because they despised my judgments. And walked not in my statutes.
But did what?
But polluted my Sabbaths.
See, well, we run around thinking it's a small thing. It's a big thing to the Lord. It don't mean much to man, but it's everything to God. Go ahead.
For their heart went after their idols.
The treasure is, your heart gonna be awesome. Your heart is after idols. That's why you struggle. You have other gods in your mind. You know what? You say your mind went after them. Go ahead.
17. Nevertheless, mine eyes spared them from destroying them. Neither did I make an end of them in the wilderness.
Right. He didn't destroy the whole nation, but he almost did. Right. He let the children go in and not the parents. So he had mercy. He didn't destroy them all. Verse 24. Go ahead.
Because they had not executed my judgments, but had despised my statutes, and had polluted my Sabbaths.
See, you got to, even though you know about it and keep, you can't pollute it. Go ahead.
And their eyes were after their father, fathers' idols.
And that's how it is. That's why nobody likes to keep the Sabbath. You got an idol. You serving idols. Your heart is going after your idols. That's why it's a burden. That's why you hate it. Right? Let's go back to Isaiah 56. This is the last scripture. Pick me up at verse 1. Isaiah 56 and 1. Hearken to the scripture. Isaiah 56. Isaiah 56, verse 1. Isaiah 56:1. Harken to the scripture.
Thus saith the Lord.
What did he say?
Keep ye judgment.
Keep ye judgment.
And do justice.
And do justice.
For my salvation is near to come.
Your salvation is near. That's if you do justice and you keep his judgment. Go ahead.
And my righteousness to be revealed.
And he'll reveal you the right way to walk. That's point blank. He'll take care of you. Go ahead.
Blessed is the man that doeth this.
This is number. After he finished saying that, this is the first thing he said. After that, blessed is the man that doeth what?
And the son of man that layeth hold on it. That keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it.
That should be blessed then. Blessed is the man that do that. So I don't know what's wrong with the whole Christendom world. I know one thing. According to this, they're not blessed. Go ahead and read it.
And keepeth his hand from doing any evil.
Neither
let the son of the stranger that had joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, the Lord had utterly separated me from his people.
He's going to stop all mouths. Nobody's going to be able to say that. Go ahead.
Neither let the eunuch say,
what?
Behold,
yes,
I am a dry tree.
What happened?
For thus saith the Lord unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbath.
See, he's talking to the ones that keep the Sabbath, the eunuchs, and what else?
And choose the things that please me.
And do what?
And take hold of my covenant.
See, by keeping the Sabbath, he's helping taking hold of his covenant. He's talking to you now. Go ahead.
Even unto them will I give in mine house and within my walls a place and a name better than of sons and of daughters.
What kind of name?
I will give them an everlasting name.
They're going to everlasting life. That's how important it is. Go ahead.
That shall not be cut off.
Yes.
Also the son of the stranger.
The who?
The son of the stranger.
One law for both. Also the son of the stranger.
That joined themselves to the Lord.
Yes.
To serve him.
How?
And to love the name of the Lord.
See, this is how you serve the Lord. He's going to tell you. You join yourself to the Lord and you serve the Lord by what?
To be his servant. Everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it.
That's part of serving the Lord. Everyone that keeps the Sabbath from polluting it.
And taking hold of my covenant.
That's part of the covenant. See, you talking about you under the new covenant, but you don't want to keep no Sabbath day. You're not under the covenant. You despise it. Go ahead.
7.
So to the ones that keep and take hold of it.
Even then will I bring to my holy mountain.
Those are the ones he's going to bring to his holy mountain. His holy mountain is Jerusalem, New Jerusalem, the kingdom of God. Those are the ones that's getting into the kingdom. Go ahead.
And make them joyful in my house of prayer.
Yes.
Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar.
That's right. When you be accepted to the Lord, you've done well. Go ahead.
For mine house shall be called an house of prayer for all people.
So part keeping the Sabbath is part of serving the Lord. So these are the ones that do the things that please me and take hold of my covenant. These are the ones that I'm bringing to my holy mountain. So, because my house should be called a house of prayer for all people. So I hope you got some understanding on how to uphold the Sabbath, no working, right? Lay down your burdens, no buying and selling, no cooking. See, all of these things separated. Sanctify, keep it holy. This is a day to worship God, to make the Lord a delight, to delight in the Lord. Ain't that what he said? That's to worship the Lord. Keep the Sabbath from polluting. And most of all, he said, remember. And once you remember it, keep it holy. So I hope we got some understanding. In Jesus' name, I thank you for your time.